إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وآله وصحبه وسلم. The topic of our today's khutbah is continuation of our last week's khutbah, which discussed about the Riya and its danger in terms of invalidating the righteous deeds performed by a Muslim. Today we are going to discuss some measures which a Muslim should employ in order to safeguard himself from Riya, because all forms of Riya are coming from the Satan, the whisper of Iblis. That is the source of every Riya. That's how can you protect? What measure are you going to take as a Muslim to ensure that whatever righteous deed you perform, you get the reward of such righteous deed? We should know that Riya is indeed very dangerous, and so there are so many ways through which Satan can make you to commit Riya in order to make sure that he invalidates your righteous deed. That is why one of the most important measures that you should take as a Muslim is to employ the concept or the principle of ikhlas. Ikhlas means doing whatever you are doing for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone, without looking for any praise or recognition or popularity from anybody. This is what is known as ikhlas. If you succeed in being among those who are mukhlisun, then Satan has no way to interfere with your righteous deeds. Allah the Most High confirmed this in the glorious Quran. When Satan promised to mislead all the servants of Allah, Allah the Most High confirmed to him that Inna ibadi laysa laka alayhim sultan. Certainly my righteous servants, you have no way to interfere to make them to commit Riya, talk less of invalidating their righteous deeds. We should know that ikhlas is just like soul in a body. If a body lacks soul, it means it is a corpse. Therefore, whatever form of righteous deed you perform, if it is mixed with Riya, then that righteous deed has been invalidated, and you are not going to have any reward in that. Again, another measure for a Muslim to take in order to safeguard himself from Riya is reciting of supplications and other adhkar taught by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In the glorious Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if a whisper of Satan crosses your heart, then fasta'id billah, you should seek refuge from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala against the evil of Satan. In Surah Al-Mu'minun, verse 98, Allah the Most High said, you should be saying as a supplication for you to be safeguarded from the evil of Satan, that Rabbi a'udhu bika min hamazati shayatin. Oh Allah, I am seeking refuge in you from the whisper, incitement of Satan. Wa a'udhu bika Rabbi an yahdurun. And I ask you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, refuge so that Satan will not come near me. Again, Riya is indeed very, very dangerous. It has so many gateways that no one can be able to protect himself from the evil of Riya except with the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the intervention of Allah the Most High. That's why the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam described Riya as so hidden, so inconspicuous, to the extent that he described it as like an ant. You know the color of an ant is black, which is crawling on top of a rock that also black. There is no way you can know. There is no way you can see. So that's how whisper of Satan will get into you, and he will succeed in invalidating your righteous deed. Then the Prophet ﷺ continues saying that should I tell you what you will do in order to safeguard yourself and to make Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to repel and to clear away the evil of that Riya from you, then he said, you should be reciting this supplication saying, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika an ushrika bika wa ana a'lamu wa astaghfiruka lima la a'lam. Oh Allah, I ask refuge, I seek refuge in you from associating partner unto you while I know, and I ask for your forgiveness in case I did that while I do not know. Again, the Prophet ﷺ used to recite this supplication saying, Allahumma tahhir qalbi min al-nifaq, wa amali min al-riya, wa lisani min al-kadhib, wa ayni min al-khiyana, وَإِنَّكَ تَعْلَمُ خَائِنَةَ الْأَعْيُنِ وَمَا تُخْفِي الصُّدُورُ. That, oh Allah, purify my soul, from my heart, from hypocrisy. Purify my deeds from Riya, and purify my tongue from telling lies, and so on to the end of this supplication. We should all know it and memorize it and continue to be reciting it so that our deeds will be safeguarded from the evil of Iblis. Another very important measure for one to employ in order to safeguard oneself and one's deeds from the evil of Satan is doing righteous deeds that are not necessarily being done in the open. You should do it secretly. That is khabi'a as-salihah. That is any righteous deed that you can do between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala without anybody knowing. Like praying in the night, spending in charity where nobody knows, sitting down to reflect on your deed and your life, and then you continue shedding tears in isolation, also settling between people who are quarreling, and so many other deeds that you can be doing while nobody knows who is doing that. This is one of the most important ways that you can save yourself from the evil of Satan and his whispers. The Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that whosoever among you can be able to perform a particular act of worship secretly, let him try and be doing that. In example of those, our predecessors who employed that and it elevated their position. For example, Hassan al-Basri was mentioning concerning the companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said that I met some personalities who any deed which they can do in secretly, they will never make it open. They will do it secretly without anybody knowing. That is why Ali bin Hussein bin Abi Talib was reported that when he died, then they were bathing him, they were washing him funeral bath. They discovered black marks on his back. It was that time that it was discovered that he used to go out in the night carrying bags of food from one poor man to another. He would just go at his door of his house and keep it. Move to this one, keep it. Nobody knows who was doing that until he died. When they were watching him, they discovered that black mark. It was that time they discovered that he was the one doing that. We have so many people who are copying from such personalities. Let us try and be doing that, inshallah. And there is nothing wrong for you to do something open, in as much as you are not going to commit Riya, especially in order to encourage others to emulate from you, especially if you happen to be a leader or someone worthy of being emulated. You can consider the position, the example of Bilal, a companion of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, whose position was elevated. He entered paradise. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam one day told him, "Oh Bilal, tell me, what act of worship had you been doing that made you to even earn paradise? I had the sound of your sound walking in front of me in paradise." Bilal said that, "Oh Prophet of Allah, I did not know any righteous deed that will earn me this position except that whenever I perform ablution, whether in the day or the night, I will make sure that I perform 2 rak'ahs from that ablution." So he has been doing that secretly. Nobody knows. Even the Prophet ﷺ did not know, not until the time he asked him. So we should emulate and copy from this personality. Again, to tell us that performing righteous deeds secretly elevate the position of an individual. In a hadith, the Prophet ﷺ told us about 7 categories of people who are going to be under the shade of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on that terrible day of the day of Qiyamah, while there will be no shade except the shade of Allah. Among them, the Prophet ﷺ mentioned that a person who just sit down and reflect about hereafter, then he started shedding tears. In isolation, nobody knows. Nobody was seeing him except himself between him and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And a man who spent in charity, giving with his right hand, to the extent that his left hand did not even know what the right hand has given. This is telling you that the person spent in charity secretly, nobody knows. However, as we have mentioned, there is nothing wrong for you to make it open, to encourage others to emulate and to copy from you. Just as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that if you make charity open, you give it publicly, there it is fine. But if you make it secretly and you give it to the fuqara, that is better for you. Again, another thing that pertains Riya is that Satan is indeed very, very dangerous in the sense that there are so many people who will stop from doing a righteous deed because of fear of Riya. As you stand up, you want to perform nafila. Satan will come and tell you, no, you are doing Riya. You want to give charity. They are looking for charity. You want to put your hand in your pocket to give. No. People are seeing you, they will say you are doing Riya. Anything you want to do, you say it's Riya. Please, whenever you feel that, don't ever allow Satan to mislead you and make you to forfeit the reward of such righteous deeds. Go ahead with clean mind and ikhlas. Go ahead and do whatever you want to do. It is Satan who wants to ensure that you did not get reward of such righteous deeds. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect all of us. May Allah the Most High save us from the evil of Satan, committing Riya, Nifaq, and so on. اللهم اعز الاسلام والمسلمين واذل الشرك والمشركين ودمر اعداء الدين وانصر عبادك المؤمنين. اللهم طهر قلوبنا من النفاق واعمالنا من الرياء والسنتنا من الكذب انك تعلم خائنة الاعين وما تخفي الصدور.